Welcome back to Be-Bell Podcast and welcome to Minisodes. This is where we spend a little bit of time, and a very short time, just reflecting on the episodes from the last series. I want to know what you thought resonated with you, and mostly I'll be talking about what resonated with me. So I hope you enjoy them. Welcome to Be-Bell Minisodes. When I listened back to this episode, I was actually quite astonished. I was actually shouting at the screen, "Shut up, Sian." But actually, when I get together with Conor, this always happens. We have always so much to talk about. I love Conor's story. I love that he has taken so much from his upbringing and noticed as well, a lot of people speak about Conor's mum an awful lot. She made such a difference, but he really understood the part that his dad had to play in that. And that's why sometimes it's not so important all the time to be the person at the front of the stage. It doesn't work without the people behind you supporting you. And I love that piece about Conor's story because he really reflected on that. He also reflected, obviously, on if we don't all work together. I talk about this often. I do a lot of work for women, advocating for women. However, I work with a lot of men to do that because it really doesn't work unless we work together. And he used a great example of the LGBTQ, and I've probably said that wrong. But anyway, he brought up a great example of the wedding referendum. Where everybody in Ireland got together and made sure that it got across the line. It wasn't just about being a same-sex couple. It was about what was right. And I loved that example. So Conor, for me, and what he stands for, and what his clothing line stands for, and the quiet, I suppose, reflective, very smart way that he gets a message across mean an awful lot. But yeah, I have to say it was one of those podcasts where I was laughing to myself because I did speak an awful lot. But that's because he always excites me. He is someone that when I go to Dublin, I love to meet for a coffee. We always have what I feel is a very powerful conversation. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I loved, actually, he mentioned Saint Studios that day when we were chatting. And I know I said, a reformer class with dark lights and music always worries me because I'm such a, I suppose, classically led reformer instructor after all this time. But I am still to get there. So I am definitely going to check it out because I've watched them a lot more since then. And it looks like a brilliant place. So I will be there. So thank you, Conor. I can't wait for our next coffee. It's always really important for me. And I love this pod. I think I was a tad overexcited though. Hi, and thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Be-Bell Podcast. If you have any thoughts, questions, or feedback for us, we always love for you to get involved. And you can find us on Instagram at @Be-Bell_podcast. Don't forget, though, that if you want to watch these episodes, you can see them all on my YouTube channel, Sian Horn. And don't forget to follow and subscribe. The more people that follow and subscribe, the better it is for the podcast, the more that we can improve future and going forward. So with that being said, thank you so much for following Be-Bell and I hope you enjoy these next episodes.